Hi and welcome back to the Nordic Watch channel. I'm Anders from Finland, and in this video I will show you how to shorten a basic push-pin watch bracelet. The push-pin mechanism is probably the most common solution for watch bracelets and is, for example, found on the various newer Seiko 5 models, like the SRPG 27 I have here. So when you buy a new watch, the bracelet will be at its maximum length with all the links attached, so it's most probably going to look something like this on your wrist before adjustment. If you want to wear it this way, that's perfectly fine, but it's not the way it's meant to be worn, and it's both uncomfortable and inconvenient for you. And while you might see plenty of people wearing their watches with the bracelets maxed out like this, I wouldn't recommend it, since you can easily adjust it yourself. First, I recommend that you remove the bracelet from the case. The bracelet is held in place by a spring bar, which looks like this. It's a bar with a spring inside, which needs to be compressed from either side to make it shorter, and after that it can be removed. Here I'm removing it using a pin and pushing from the drilled lug hole, which is the easiest way to remove it if you have these holes. And then the other option is, of course, to use a spring bar tool like this one and remove the bracelet that way. This will make it easier for you to make the adjustments, even though you can do it with the watch case on the bracelet also. The push-pin system is, in my opinion, the easiest type of bracelet to adjust. I'll just quickly explain how the system works. The links are held together by these pins, which often have a split in one of the ends. The links usually have an arrow to indicate in which direction the pins should be pushed in order to remove the pin and thus detach the links. When you push the pin out, as you can see, the split end comes out first. Then you can pull it out with some pliers or your fingers if you're able. When you want to reassemble the bracelet, you just have to reverse this action and reinsert the pin in the opposite direction of the arrow, like so. The split end of the pin is the thing causing the friction needed to keep the pin in place, so it will need some force in order to go into the link. So that's in a nutshell how the mechanism works. All you need for this is some sort of tool which is suitably sized to push the pins. So it needs to be smaller than the holes on the links and rigid enough to withstand some applied pressure. There are a variety of tools out there for this job. Some like to use a pin and hammer, which I don't have. I usually use this screw bench kind of tool, but it can just as easily be done with something like a SIM card opener for your iPad or iPhone if you don't have any other tools for this purpose. I've also included some Amazon affiliate links in the description where you can go and buy the needed tools, and I'll get a small commission if you decide to do so. I can demonstrate how to remove these links and put them back with both of these kinds of tools, just to show you how they work. So starting off, we need to determine roughly how many links to remove. I like to do this by pinching the excess like this, which helps me estimate the number of excess links on the bracelet. Some bracelets have differently sized links in order to help get a better fit for your wrist. Other bracelets often utilize a nice amount of so-called micro adjustments on the clasp. This Seiko SRPG 27 actually has neither really, so there are just the full links and one micro adjustment on the clasp here. Nonetheless, I was able to get quite a good fit on my wrist, so I think this is sufficient. Anyway, by the looks of it, I'll need to remove 3 links. On which side of the bracelet you should remove the links depends on how the clasp is positioned. Your goal should be to get the clasp as close to the middle of your wrist as possible. Usually the bracelets have more links on the 6 o'clock side of the bracelet, and as a rule of thumb you usually should remove more links on that side than the other one, at least if you're removing an odd amount of links like 1 or 3. Now that I have determined how many links to remove, I'll push the pin out of these 2 links. I just need to repeat the actions I showed you in the beginning and remove the excess links in between. After that, I can reattach these 2 links together. Do be careful when pushing the pin back in the link, because it's quite easy for whichever tool you're using to slip and cause a scratch on the bracelet. I find that the screw bench kind of tool is the best option for this phase because it offers good control. Now, as you can see, the bracelet is already a much better fit and the clasp is quite close to the middle of the underside of my wrist. If there are some minor adjustments still to be made, you can use the micro adjustments I already mentioned earlier. The micro adjustments work with a spring bar, just like how the bracelets and straps are fastened to the watch case usually. You just need something to push it inwards with, either a pin or then you can use a spring bar tool, and voila. I also have a video on how to remove a spring bar easily using only dental floss. Check out the link if you want to try that out. Now, how tight you want the bracelet to actually fit is totally up to you. I usually like to have it quite snug so that I can maybe fit a pen between the clasp and my wrist. The size of your wrist also varies quite a lot during a given year depending on both weather, diet and your activities. So the micro adjustments are a great feature for this variability. Anyways, that's it for this tutorial. Comment below if you have any questions for me. I try to answer all the questions and comments. And please like and subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos also. You can also consider giving me a super like if you found this video super useful. That's a great way to support my channel. Also go take a look at my Instagram at Nordic Watch Channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.